Welcome back, warriors, dreamers, and game changers, to another electrifying episode of Sweat Soul Success. This is your sanctuary for sweat-drenched victories, soul-deep reflections, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Today, we're diving headfirst into a game changer that separates the good from the great. Mastering morning workouts. Picture this: the world is still. The sky is painted with the soft hues of dawn, and while the rest of humanity clings to their pillows, you are lacing up your sneakers. In that moment, you're not just starting your day, you're staking your claim on it. You're saying, this day doesn't own me, I own it. But let's get real. Mornings are hard. The snooze button is seductive. The bed is warm. And the voice in your head? Oh, it's whispering every excuse in the book. You can't. You're tired. There's always later. Here's the truth: later is a lie. Because what's at stake isn't just a workout, it's momentum. It's your mindset. It's the way you set the tone for everything that follows. As Hal Elrod, author of The Miracle Morning, said, how you wake up each day and your morning routine, or lack thereof, dramatically affects your levels of success in every single area of your life. I remember a moment from my own journey. It was winter, the kind of cold that bites through layers and makes your bones ache. My alarm blared at 5 a.m., and every fiber of my being begged me to stay under the covers. But then I thought about my why. Not the surface level why, to get fit, to look good, but the deep, unshakable reason I started in the first place: to be someone who refuses to let excuses win. That morning, as my breath turned to mist in the icy air and my shoes pounded against the frost-covered ground, I didn't just conquer a workout. I conquered myself. So how do you make morning workouts your superpower? Here's the blueprint. 1. Prepare the night before. Lay out your workout clothes. Prep your water bottle. Set your alarm across the room so you have to get up to turn it off. Remove every obstacle that gives your morning brain an excuse. 2. Anchor to a powerful why. Surface-level goals won't cut it when the bed feels like heaven. Dig deep. What drives you? Is it health? Confidence? Being a role model for your kids? Write it down and remind yourself every day. 3. Start small, but start. Maybe it's a 10-minute yoga session, a quick jog, or a bodyweight circuit. The goal is to create a habit. Remember, consistency beats intensity when you're building momentum. 4. Celebrate the wins. Each morning you show up is a victory. Acknowledge it. Let that pride fuel your fire for tomorrow. Here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, before the sun kisses the horizon, I want you to rise and sweat. Not for anyone else, not for the mirror, but for the unstoppable force you're becoming. And when it's hard, because it will be hard, remember this: the pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Greatness isn't found in grand gestures or perfect conditions. It's carved out in moments like these, when the world is still sleeping and you're out there earning it. So lace up, show up, and light that fire within. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this episode fired you up, share it with someone who needs that extra push. Let's build a community of warriors who refuse to settle for anything less than extraordinary. Until next time, stay sweaty, stay soulful, and stay successful. This is Sweat Soul Success. Let's go. Welcome back, warriors of grit and growth, to Sweat Soul Success, your weekly fuel for fitness, personal evolution, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. I am here to remind you that every step forward requires intention, and sometimes the most powerful step is the one that asks you to pause. Today's theme: recovery, the key to progress. We live in a culture that glorifies the grind. No days off. Push harder. Sleep when you're dead. Sound familiar? But here's the irony. The path to greatness isn't paved with constant exertion. It's built in the balance, a dance between effort and recovery. Imagine a bowstring. You can pull it back with all your might, but if you never let it rest, it will snap. You're that bow. And recovery? That's your reset. Without it, progress isn't just slow, it's unsustainable. I learned this lesson the hard way. A few years ago, I was in beast mode. Early mornings at the gym, late nights chasing goals. No excuses, right? Until one day my body rebelled. I felt drained, mentally foggy, and my performance tanked. It wasn't weakness, it was overtraining. I was tearing myself down faster than I could rebuild. My body wasn't failing me, I was failing it. That's when I stumbled upon a game-changing truth from Dr. Joyce Brothers, who said, a strong, positive self-image is the best possible preparation for success. And you know what fuels that self-image? Respecting your body. Honoring its need for restoration, for growth in the stillness. So how do you master the art of recovery without losing your momentum? Let's break it down. 1. Prioritize sleep. Your muscles repair, your mind resets, your energy restores, all while you sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality rest. Treat it like the non-negotiable training session it is. 2. Embrace active recovery. Recovery doesn't mean doing nothing. Yoga, stretching, light walks. These keep the blood flowing, aiding recovery while calming the mind. 3. Fuel wisely. Think of food as your recovery tool. Lean proteins for repair, healthy fats for function, and carbs to replenish. And don't forget hydration. Your muscles need it as much as your mind. 4. Listen to your body, it's always talking. Fatigue, soreness, mental burnout, these are signals, not signs of weakness. Pay attention, adjust, and honor the process. Now, here's your challenge. This week, I want you to schedule your recovery with the same discipline you schedule your workouts. Pick one day to focus entirely on rest or active recovery. Use that time to reflect, recharge, and rebuild. Because progress isn't about how hard you can push, it's about how smart you can train. Remember this, the strongest warriors aren't the ones who never rest. They're the ones who know when to rest so they can return stronger, faster, and more focused. Recovery isn't weakness, it's your secret weapon. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today. If this episode resonated with you, pass it on to someone who needs the reminder to breathe, to pause, to recover. Together, let's redefine strength and build a community that honors the whole journey, grit, rest, and all. Until next time, stay sweaty, stay soulful, and stay successful. This is Sweat Soul Success. Let's go. Let me paint you a picture. It's 5:30 a.m. The world is still tucked in under its blanket of darkness, but there you are, lacing up your sneakers. The air is crisp, the streets are quiet, and as your feet hit the pavement, you realize something powerful. This moment is yours. In a world that pulls you in 1,000 directions, you've chosen to show up. For yourself, for your growth, for your greatness. And my friends, that's the spark. But let's be real. How do you keep that spark alive when the novelty wears off, when the soreness sets in, or when life throws curveballs? That's what we're diving into today, how to stay consistent with exercise. I'll never forget a story I heard about a man named Joe. Joe wasn't a superstar athlete or a fitness influencer. He was an average guy with a full-time job and a busy family life. But Joe had one rule. Every day, no matter what, he would move his body for 30 minutes. Some days it was a run. Others, it was yoga or a walk around the block. Rain or shine, energy high or low, Joe showed up. Over the years, he transformed not just his body but his entire life. His kids saw his dedication. His co-workers admired his energy. And Joe's secret wasn't some magical workout plan or cutting-edge gadget. It was consistency, pure, unshakable consistency. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, said it best. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Consistency isn't about grinding every single day until you collapse. It's about creating systems that make showing up inevitable. So, how do you build a system that sets you up for success? Here are 3 steps to turn consistency into your superpower. 1. Start small but start strong. Don't overwhelm yourself with a 2-hour gym session if you're just starting out. Commit to 15 minutes. A short walk. A few push-ups. The key is momentum. Because consistency isn't built on monumental efforts. It's built on small wins stacked day after day. 2. Anchor your habit. Tie your workout to something you already do. After your morning coffee, stretch. After work, head to the gym. This if-then strategy creates a trigger that makes exercise automatic. 3. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Life happens. You might miss a day and that's okay. What matters is getting back on track. Treat every workout, no matter how small, as a victory. Consistency doesn't demand perfection. It demands persistence. Here's my challenge to you. Pick one small, actionable step you can take today. Maybe it's a 10-minute stretch, a walk during lunch, or dusting off that yoga mat. Write it down. Commit to it. And then, do it again tomorrow. And the next day. Stack those wins until consistency becomes your identity. Because here's the truth. Greatness isn't born in grand gestures. It's carved out in the quiet moments when no one's watching. It's built in the early mornings, the late nights, and the days when it'd be easier to make excuses. You have everything you need to stay consistent. The question is, will you choose to? So lace up, show up, and let's build something unstoppable together. This is your journey, your masterpiece in the making. Go own it. Until next time, keep sweating, keep striving, and keep succeeding. This is Sweat Soul Success signing off. What if I told you that your greatest fitness transformation doesn't happen in a perfectly lit gym or a 3-hour marathon session? It happens in the cracks of your life. In the spaces between meetings, in the early hours before the world wakes, in the moments where excuses creep in, and you decide, not today. This episode is for every dreamer with a packed calendar, every go-getter with a full plate, and every person who has ever said, I just don't have time. Let me tell you about Monica. She's a single mom working 2 jobs, chasing a degree at night. Her schedule? Pure chaos. But Monica decided her health wasn't negotiable. She started with 10-minute workouts in her living room, her toddler giggling beside her. 10 minutes became 15. 15 turned into 20. Fast forward 6 months and Monica's not only stronger physically but mentally, more focused, more resilient, more alive. Fitness didn't fit her schedule, she carved out the time. She built a fortress of strength in those tiny cracks of her day. Stephen Covey once said, the key is in not spending time, but in investing it. Let that sink in. When you shift your mindset from I'm spending time to I'm investing in myself, everything changes. Now let's get practical. How do you make fitness work when your schedule feels like a Jenga tower about to collapse? 1. Micro moments matter. Start small. Commit to 5 minutes. Do squats while brushing your teeth, push-ups before your shower, or take the stairs instead of the elevator. These moments stack up. 2. Schedule it like it's sacred. Treat your workout like the most important meeting of your day, because it is. Block it off in your calendar. No cancellations, no excuses. 3. Efficiency is your best friend. Focus on high-intensity interval training, HIIT, or circuit workouts that deliver maximum results in minimal time. You don't need hours, you need intention. 4. Leverage technology. Use fitness apps, online workouts, or a smartwatch to keep you accountable. Your phone is already with you 24/7. Make it your coach. 5. Involve your tribe. Got kids? Make it a family challenge. Have friends? Turn a coffee date into a walking meeting. Fitness isn't just a solo journey, it's a ripple effect. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, I want you to find 20 minutes for your health. 20 minutes, that's less time than one episode of your favorite show or half a scroll through social media. Use it to move your body however you can, wherever you can. Write it down. Celebrate each day. At the end of the week, look back and ask yourself, was it worth it? Spoiler alert, it will be. Your life is busy, yes, but your health? It's your foundation. It's what allows you to chase dreams, love fiercely, and show up fully. Don't let the excuse of time rob you of the strength, vitality, and joy you deserve. Remember Monica. Remember Stephen Covey. And remember this, you don't find time. You make it. Now go crush this day, this week, this life. The cracks in your schedule aren't your obstacles. They're your opportunities. Sweat, soul, success. It's all waiting for you. Let's go. Welcome back to Sweat, Soul, Success, the podcast where we turn sweat into strength, struggles into stories, and victories into lifelong legacies. Today, I'm here to talk about something that's often overlooked but incredibly powerful: the mind-body connection in your workouts. Let me start with a question. How often do you feel fully present during your workout? I mean truly there, every rep, every step, every breath aligned with intention? Or are you zoning out, counting down the minutes, letting your mind wander? Because here's the truth, your body might be doing the work, but without your mind in sync, you're leaving results on the table. Picture this, it's early morning. You're on a trail running. The air is crisp, the trees are alive, and your feet rhythmically hit the ground. But something shifts. Instead of thinking about your day or checking your pace on your watch, you focus on your breath. You feel the ground beneath you, the strength in your legs, the heartbeat in your chest. You're not just running anymore. You're connected, present, powerful. This is the mind-body connection, and it's not just poetic, it's science. There's a story I love about Muhammad Ali. He once said, I only start counting my sit-ups when it starts hurting. That's when I start counting because that's when it really counts. Ali understood the mind-body connection on a profound level. He didn't just train his body, he trained his mind to push through discomfort, to focus when most would quit. That's the secret to greatness, the ability to align your mental focus with your physical effort. So how do you build this connection? Start simple. Next time you hit the gym, leave the distractions at the door. No scrolling between sets. No autopilot mode. Instead, focus on your form. Feel the contraction in your muscles. Visualize your goals, not vaguely but vividly. If you're lifting weights, imagine the strength surging through you. If you're running, sync your breath with your stride. This isn't just about working out, it's about working in, training your mind to be present so your body can perform at its peak. And here's a challenge. For your next workout, pick one exercise and commit to being fully present. No music, no distractions, just you and the movement. Notice the difference. Feel the power that comes when you're all in mind and body. Let me leave you with this. The mind-body connection isn't a skill, it's a practice. Like any muscle, it grows stronger the more you use it. So don't just show up for your workouts. Be there, fully. And watch how it transforms not just your fitness but your life. As Aristotle once said, the energy of the mind is the essence of life. So bring that energy. Harness it. Let it fuel you to push harder, go further, and be greater. Thank you for tuning into Sweat Soul Success. Go out there and make it happen. Until next time, stay strong, stay soulful, and keep sweating for your success. Welcome back, champions, to another episode of Sweat Soul Success. Today, we're talking about something that everyone, yes, everyone, can relate to: building a stronger body and mind without breaking the bank. Because let's face it, greatness doesn't come with a price tag. Let me ask you this. If tomorrow you woke up with nothing but the fire in your heart and the shoes on your feet, could you still chase your fitness goals? You bet you could. Because fitness isn't about fancy equipment or pricey memberships. It's about grit, resourcefulness, and using what you've got to become unstoppable. I'll never forget a story I heard about a young boxer. He couldn't afford a gym membership or even basic gear. So he trained in the streets, jumping rope with a piece of frayed clothesline and sparring with shadows under a flickering streetlight. For weights, he used buckets filled with rocks. That boxer? He went on to become a local legend, not because of what he had, but because of what he made of himself with what he had. He didn't let excuses win. He turned limitations into opportunities. That, my friends, is the essence of fitness on a budget. It's about doing what you can with what you have and proving that passion and perseverance are the greatest investments you'll ever make. Let's anchor this in the words of Teddy Roosevelt. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Think about that for a second. Your potential doesn't lie in your wallet, it lies in your will. So how do you make it work? Here are 3 steps to embrace fitness on a budget. 1. Master bodyweight training. Push-ups, squats, planks, they cost $0 and deliver infinite results. Your body is the best gym you'll ever own. 2. Leverage the great outdoors. Parks, stairs, trails, nature gives you all the tools you need. Turn that park bench into a gym bench. Make the world your training ground. 3. Get creative with household items. Need a kettlebell? Use a gallon of water. Need resistance? Grab a backpack and fill it with books. Turn your living room into a battlefield for greatness. And here's the challenge. For the next week, I want you to spend exactly $0 on your workouts. No memberships, no gadgets, just raw effort and determination. Prove to yourself that your ambition isn't dependent on a price tag. Remember, greatness isn't bought, it's built. It's built on small decisions day in and day out. When the excuses try to creep in, shut them down. When you feel like you're lacking, dig deeper and remind yourself that you already have everything you need. A body, a will, and a dream. This week, let your budget-friendly journey be a testament to your inner strength. Show the world, and yourself, that you're unstoppable no matter what's in your bank account. Until next time, keep sweating, keep striving, and keep shining. This is Sweat Soul Success signing off. Now go make greatness happen. Picture this. You're at mile 24 of a marathon. Your legs feel like lead. Every step screams at you to stop. Your mind, the one thing that should push you forward, whispers, "You've done enough. Just quit." That, my friends, is the moment where champions are made, not on the first mile, but right there when your body begs for mercy and your mind decides whether to listen. Today, we're talking about breaking through mental barriers, the invisible walls that separate you from your goals. They aren't made of brick or steel. They're built from fear, doubt, and every excuse you've ever told yourself. But here's the truth, those walls? They're paper thin when you know how to push through. I remember training with a friend who was prepping for his first ever Spartan race. He wasn't the fittest guy in the group, but he had heart. During one training session, we hit this brutal hill, steep, rocky, relentless. Halfway up, he stopped, hands on his knees, gasping for air. He looked at me and said, "I can't." I told him, "You're right, you can't if that's what you keep telling yourself." And then I said something that changed everything. Instead of thinking you can't, ask yourself, what if I can? What if this hill is just a test and the top is proof you're stronger than you ever believed? He stood up, stared at that hill like it owed him money, and started moving. Slow at first, but steady. He didn't just reach the top, he conquered it. And when race day came, that same guy, the one who almost quit on a training hill, finished with a medal around his neck and a fire in his eyes. That's the power of breaking through. It doesn't just change your fitness, it changes your belief in what's possible. Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Think about that. The impossible lives in your head, not in reality. The weights in the gym don't know they're too heavy. The pavement doesn't care if it's too far. It's your mind that decides. And your mind is trainable just like your body. Here's your challenge. This week, identify one mental barrier holding you back. Maybe it's that voice that says you'll never run a 5K, or you're too old to start lifting, or you don't have time to prioritize your health. Call it out. Write it down if you need to, and then take one step to shatter it. If it's fear of running, lace up and jog for 10 minutes. If it's time, find 20 minutes today, just today, to move your body. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be progress. And when that voice comes back, and it will, don't ignore it. Challenge it. Turn "I can't" into "what if I can," and see how quickly those walls crumble. You see, breaking through mental barriers isn't just about fitness. It's about life. It's about realizing that the hardest battles aren't fought in the gym or on the trail. They're fought right here in your mind. And every time you push past a mental block, you're not just getting stronger, you're rewriting the story of what you're capable of. So go out there, break those barriers, and let the world see the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. This is Sweat Soul Success, where sweat fuels the soul, and success is the legacy you leave behind. Now get after it. Your greatness is waiting. Welcome back to Sweat Soul Success, the show where fitness meets personal growth, and where we ignite the fire to achieve greatness inside and outside the gym. Today, I want to talk about something that transcends reps, routines, and PRs. It's the force that separates fleeting efforts from lifelong transformations, a growth mindset. Imagine this. You're standing at the base of a mountain. The peak is shrouded in clouds, and the climb ahead is daunting. You take your first step. The path is rocky and you slip. Maybe you're tempted to look back and think, "I'm not cut out for this." Or maybe, just maybe, you'll tell yourself, "This slip is just part of the climb." That, my friends, is the voice of a growth mindset. Carol Dweck, the psychologist who pioneered the concept of a growth mindset, said, "Becoming is better than being." Think about that. It's not about having the perfect body or crushing every workout. It's about the journey of becoming, of embracing challenges, learning from failure, and realizing that every effort rewrites your story. Let me share a story. There's this runner I know. Let's call him Jake. When Jake first started, he couldn't run a mile without stopping to gasp for air. He beat himself up, thinking he'd never get better. But then he flipped the script. Instead of saying, "I'm not good at running," he started asking, "What can I learn from today's run?" He learned to pace himself. He learned the power of consistency. And a year later, Jake crossed the finish line of his first marathon. That transformation wasn't magic, it was mindset. Your fitness journey is no different. Every squat that burns, every missed rep, every day you drag yourself out of bed when you'd rather hit snooze, these are not failures. These are the bricks you're laying to build something unshakable. Because growth is messy, but it's also magnificent. So how do you cultivate this growth mindset in your fitness journey? Let's break it down. 1. Reframe failure. Stop seeing setbacks as proof you're not good enough. Instead, see them as data. What went wrong? How can you adjust? 2. Embrace the process. Focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate the small wins. That extra push-up, shaving a second off your sprint, showing up when you didn't feel like it. 3. Seek challenge. Comfort zones are cozy, but growth lives in the stretch. Lift the heavier weight, try the new class, tackle the exercise you've been avoiding. 4. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. Find a tribe that inspires you, challenges you, and celebrates your wins. Here's your challenge for the week. Identify one area of your fitness journey where you've been stuck in a fixed mindset. Maybe you've told yourself, "I'll never be able to do a pull-up," or "I'm just not a runner." Flip that script. Rewrite the story. Take one step towards growth. Because here's the truth. The only limits that matter are the ones you choose to believe in. Every day you show up, every effort you make, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more. So climb the mountain. Embrace the slips. And when you look back, you won't just see a peak you conquered. You'll see the person you became along the way. That's all for today, warriors. Remember, greatness isn't given. It's earned step by step, sweat by sweat, soul by soul. If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And as always, keep climbing, keep growing. This is Sweat Soul Success signing off. Welcome back, warriors, dreamers, and doers to another episode of Sweat Soul Success. the podcast where sweat meets soul and success becomes inevitable. Today we're diving into one of the most underrated superpowers in your arsenal: accountability. Let me ask you this. Have you ever made a promise to yourself that you'd hit the gym every morning and then hit snooze instead? Or committed to a diet only to celebrate with pizza after day 3? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you that accountability could be the very thing standing between you and the greatness you're chasing? Let's talk about it. Picture this. It's 5 a.m. The world is still wrapped in darkness. You're lying in bed, cozy under the covers, and your alarm is blaring. Your mind starts negotiating. Just 15 more minutes. You can work out later. No one will know. But then you remember. You promised your running partner you'd meet them at the track. Suddenly, staying in bed isn't an option. What? Because someone else is counting on you. That's the magic of accountability. There's a story I love about Arnold Schwarzenegger during his bodybuilding days. Arnold didn't just train. He trained with a purpose and a posse. His training partners weren't just friends. They were mirrors, motivators, and enforcers of his discipline. If Arnold slacked, they called him out. If he crushed it, they cheered him on. That constant exchange of energy and expectation fueled his path to becoming a legend. And here's the kicker. Accountability isn't just about others keeping you on track. It's about you showing up for them too. It's a two-way street paved with integrity, grit, and growth. Like Benjamin Franklin once said, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Accountability is your preparation. It's the structure that transforms good intentions into great results. Think of it as your anchor in a stormy sea of excuses and distractions. Whether it's a friend, a coach, a journal, or even an app, accountability keeps you grounded and moving forward. So, how can you harness the power of accountability starting today? Here are 3 simple yet powerful steps. 1. Find your circle. Choose someone who will hold you to your highest standards, not your easiest outs. Could be a workout buddy, a mentor, or an online community. 2. Make it measurable. Don't just say, I want to get fit. Say, I will hit the gym 4 times a week for 45 minutes. Define your goals clearly so there's no wiggle room for excuses. 3. Check in and own it. Schedule regular check-ins with your accountability partner. If you slip, own up. If you crush it, celebrate together. Progress loves accountability. Warriors, accountability is the bridge between dreams and discipline. It's the reason you'll show up when motivation fades and why you'll keep going when the road gets rough. Remember, greatness isn't a solo journey. It's built in the trenches with people who push you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. So here's my challenge to you. Before the sun sets today, find your accountability anchor. Call that friend, join that group, or write down your goals and share them with someone who matters. Take the first step. Because accountability isn't just a tool, it's a lifestyle. That's it for today's episode of Sweat Soul Success. If this message fired you up, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your support fuels this mission. Until next time, keep sweating, keep growing, and keep chasing greatness. You've got this. Welcome back to Sweat Soul Success, the podcast where grit meets growth, and sweat becomes your stepping stone to greatness. Today, we're diving headfirst into a topic that holds so many of us back: overcoming gym anxiety. Let's tackle this head-on and turn that nervous energy into unstoppable power. Picture this. You're standing outside the gym for the first time. Your palms are sweaty. Your heart's racing. Inside, it feels like everyone's eyes are laser-focused on you, judging, analyzing, scrutinizing every move you might make. It's as though the weight of the gym itself is heavier than the dumbbells inside. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Gym anxiety is real and it's more common than you think. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to own you. Because on the other side of that fear is the strongest version of yourself. And that version is waiting for you to walk through those doors. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I met a young man named Alex. Alex was out of shape, intimidated, and completely new to fitness. He avoided the gym for months, terrified of being judged. One day, he mustered the courage to step inside. I'll never forget what he said to me after that first workout. He looked me in the eye and said, I thought I'd feel small here, but I've never felt so strong in my life. It wasn't the weights that transformed Alex that day. It wasn't the treadmill or the machines. It was his decision to show up, to take that fear, stare it down, and take the first step anyway. As the legendary Eleanor Roosevelt once said, do one thing every day that scares you. Well, guess what? Walking into the gym when you're overwhelmed is that thing. It's your first act of defiance against doubt, against insecurity, against stagnation. So, how do you overcome gym anxiety? Let's break it down. 1. Plan ahead. Go in with a clear idea of what you want to do. Watch videos, write your workout down, and walk in armed with purpose. 2. Shift your perspective. People aren't watching you. They're focused on their own goals. And if they are watching, let them. You're showing them what courage looks like. 3. Start small. Find a quiet corner, use simple equipment, or begin with a group class. Build confidence step by step. 4. Find your why. Why are you here? What do you want? Every time you hesitate, remind yourself of the goal that's bigger than your fear. And here's my challenge to you. This week, walk into that gym no matter how uncomfortable it feels. One time. Even if all you do is take a lap around the machines or hop on the treadmill for 5 minutes. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Remember, every seasoned athlete, every fitness model you've ever admired, every person crushing their goals, they all started where you are. Nervous, unsure, but they showed up. And that's all you need to do. Because here's the truth, you're not walking into a gym, you're walking into a battlefield where every drop of sweat, every lifted weight, every step taken is a victory. Not against anyone else, but against the version of you that doubted you could. So let's go. Let's take that first step together. The gym isn't just a place, it's your arena. And in that arena, greatness is waiting for you. One rep, one step, one act of courage at a time. This is Sweat Soul Success. I'm your host, reminding you that fear is temporary, but strength, that's forever. Now go. Be unstoppable.